Yeah. Welcome back to Blazy B, where I'm blazed and I'm B. So today I want to just talk about my time in Illinois. I've been here for 4 years and I am about to leave. And that's crazy. 4 years is a long time to be somewhere new and different. Like I did Peace Corps for 2 years. I guess you do kind of college for four, but it's so fast. It goes by so fast. And honestly, this did too. It was kind of crazy. And but I kind of stayed longer than I thought I would, which is pretty cool. That means I enjoyed myself. And yeah, I just was like going back through memories and I was like, man, I don't even I don't even know if some people know how I got here. Like, what are you doing in Illinois? What are you doing in Effingham? And there's like a whole backstory to it. So, hey, let's get into it. This might be a little braggy. I was like, damn, I've done a lot of shit. That feels good. so, yeah, don't mind me as I toot my own horn for a hot minute, hot while. So, anyways, Illinois. I got to Illinois in what was it? Like probably 2021. Yeah. August 2021. And I went straight to Macomb. So I started school at Western Illinois University, and it was a Peace Corps fellowship program for community and economic development. So I have my master's in community and economic development with a post baccalaureate in GIS, Geographic Information Systems, basically mapping, which is cool. Um, I love me some maps. I love me some maps. So, okay, moved to Macomb, moved to Illinois, did the drive, just me and Nessie, my car, and that's it. Like, just had what I had and got here. And so got this apartment, and then I met Kiana. Kiana was in my same cohort. She was a Peace Corps fellow. She was in Kosovo. So all these people. So we had like this tiny little cohort of, I think there was like four or five of us, six, five, I think five. I'm gonna feel like shit if I left out anybody. But anyways, yeah, so I met Kiana, star of the show, and we were both in the exact same program. So we had every single class together. And she's from Western Massachusetts. She's a bomb.com, and she brought her boyfriend Carlos, and they ended up living in my apartment like complex. And I was the one with the car. She doesn't know how to drive. And so we had we'd take the bus together, and I mean, every single class. And then we had to do an internship. And so we both had to apply for the two choices we had, which was the chamber. Man, I got throat, the chamber and the city. And so she ended up going to the chamber. I was at the city. Obviously, that's like across the square in this 15,000 person town. And so then I drove. We had the same class schedule. Okay, we're going from this class into the city, yada, yada, yada. Drop her off, pick her up. Like, we did life together. We were a package deal for this program, and it was awesome. And Kiana got me into karaoke. I'd never really karaokeed before, like maybe like once with Kat and Lenny because they were into karaoke, but like never did that. And then Kiana and I just started going. And then, oh man, that girl, yeah. I have a lot of Kiana isms, which I love, and just in verbiage and singing out my words. This woman changed me. And oh God, Kiana. If I did not have Kiana, I would have died. And I think she'd probably say the same thing about me. We conquered that 1 year in Macomb. It felt good to do it together. Um So yeah, that was Kiana. And then so it's a 2 year program. And then your second year, you are sent to a town. And so we had to like interview across the state at these towns that applied to like have a Peace Corps fellow as an intern for like 9 months and yada, yada, yada. Okay, great. So then I got chosen in Effingham. I mean, we were in like Pittsfield, Effingham. There's one up next to Macomb. I forget the name, but where Knox College is. I forget. But anyways, we had to travel all over. We did group interviews. We did everything like that. And then they kind of, two-way street. This would be the best fit. They sent me to Effingham. They were like, go far away and go to the bigger cities. So I ended up, I mean, Effingham is on two highway interchanges. So there are 70,000 people that like go through Effingham a day for a town of 12,000 people. Holy moly. That's why we do have a Hobby Lobby and a like every chain of restaurant. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, it makes Effingham a big city per se when you add in these big stores. And yeah, so then I was placed in Effingham. Great. I'm at the chamber in Effingham, which is a county chamber. And great, awesome. Like, did a lot of things. Did not, I mean, I did this PAVE program, which was a promoting a vision for Effingham County. And I was basically doing community and economic development, right? And we were trying to just build up anything and everything. So we had these, well, okay, they did this mapping thing. I don't want to say conference, but like all these sessions to basically narrow down. So you invite all the community members, and this happened prior to me ever getting there. I went to one session as a guest, and then they put me on the spot, and I totally blacked out. And I was just like rambling up there about who I am and being like, I'm like, oh shit. But so if anyone remembers that, that was at Kerner's way back in the day. It was so green. And yeah, so basically we're diagnosing, or they're diagnosing their town. What do we need? What do we want? What's feasible? Yada, yada, yada. Breaking it down into these like action groups. And basically PAVE was these action groups, and then I led these action groups and teams and had community members in, and we were doing all these things. So the chamber does a lot of events and things like that for the town. So they're ham jam, and they have a gala, which is like a fundraiser, but that's pretty fun. But they put on hometown Christmas, these just big events for the town. And so we could do projects within that, you know? So we had a Parks and Rec division, and we were working on the dog park, raising money for that and how to make yada, yada, yada. What are we going to do? Working with the city, things like that. And then we had an events crew that was more of, there was the Heart Theater, and someone was buying it, wanting to renovate it. We were kind of helping, like, what could this be? Man, that kind of fell through. You know, you're just like putting all these different things out. Um, I don't know what else. We did a lot of things, but we ended up, I'd say like one of the best things was the Dress for Success. Me and Vicky Kite, she is at Enduring Freedoms Ministry, and it's just like this food bank, this awesome place. She's got like so much stuff there and so many resources for anyone that walks in that door, and it's just a beautiful operation. And so I was like, yo, you're an awesome human being. We could do this here if we like set up and take donations for all of these like really nice, you know, business attire and interview clothing and things like that. So we got so much stuff. People were dropping off things at the chamber like crazy. And then we did this drive through, and people were just dropping off that way. I mean, it was like, holy moly. It was beautiful. So, I mean, thousands of pieces of clothing. Like, I swear there's so much. We filled this entire room. We didn't have enough hangers. We were just like, holy smokes. We got so much stuff. And it's like suit jackets and dresses and these really nice shoes, anything and everything. And basically, we set up this whole place that they have into an interview like area. So you would do like mock interviews, and then there was resources like resource centers for mothers, for other food banks, for I don't know, anything and everything. And then what else did we have? You know, we had the dress up area, and so you could take whatever clothes you wanted. And then we had a makeup artist and like a hair person. So you could just like get your hair did, get your hair cut, you know, find a style, do some makeup, feel beautiful, pretty cool. What else did we have? I don't know. We just had like goodie bags. I think we had resume help as well. So you could bring your resume or you would go and like make your resume. And you had to go through every single station before you could like get to the close and get to like the more fun stuff. So it was pretty cool. I mean, we had a decent amount of people come through and it was really awesome. And Vicky continues to do it year after year. So that was cool. And that was my first time. So I got to go on WCIA, which is in Champaign, and it's like the news station for the region. Um, and so Lucinda used to go once a month as a chamber president and, give an update, yada, yada, yada. And so I went one of her months and got to explain Dress for Success. And I was just like loving it. That was my first time on TV. And I was, oh my God. I was like, this is kind of my dream job. I love this. And the lady interviewing was like, "Oh my God, I love your energy. You should come on again." I was like, "Oh my God, I'd love to." So, oh, that was so much fun. Yeah, WCIA lit. So that was like chamber stuff. And we had like, I don't know, Pave did some events and then I would go to all these chamber outings and I was just like very present, knowing all these people. It felt really cool to kind of like get into a position and then be like introduced to every CEO in the area. So it was more like business people and it was a different crowd of Effingham than probably like what I would have been attracted to, right? So that was interesting. I got to just observe and I got into my apartment right in the beginning because they have to like have a place for you to live. Obvious requirement. And so they put me in Evergreen Terrace and then I've been there ever since. And my apartment was just like my refuge. And I just spent a lot of time in my apartment and work was down the street. It was like a 5-minute drive. Oh my God, this town is just like nice. And, 10 minutes to getting anywhere like across town, 5 minutes within. It's a beautiful thing. So, yeah, I got to do a lot with the chamber and absorb a lot and go to different places, different like business after hours and learn all of the businesses in town as well, which is cool. I got to see this like very interesting view. I feel like, moving somewhere and then getting that bird's eye view it's just very interesting. Okay. It's very interesting. But it was a good time. I made it light and fun. And Courtney was awesome. He was like a dope boss. Lucinda, great boss. And then the coworkers were great. And then even Jonna was working there at the time. So I got to meet Jonna. That was huge. She's an awesome friend. But you make all these connections and then you build these friend groups within that. Okay, great. And then I would get hours community and economic development. That means Brittany needs to go explore the town. So my first stop was at Joe Sippers. Like that was the only coffee shop that was a walk-in. I saw that they had a roastery and I was like, oh my God, I'd just gotten back from Costa Rica, evacuated Peace Corps in 2020. And then I was working at the chiropractor and then I was like, okay, I need to go to school. I had to take the GRE and get in, whatever. Chose Western. Great. Awesome. Cool. And fuck, I lost my train of thought. Oh, man. Yeah. Where was I? Jonna, town. Oh, Joe Sippers. There we go. So I was coming off and the roastery, okay, great. And so I was like, yo, I kind of stopped in. I was like, I would love to talk to like a manager. Like I would love to roast coffee. So I ended up talking to Emily, or maybe I emailed. I don't know how this all got started really. I think maybe I emailed. And because I went in asking and then no one was really there. And I think I emailed because Emily mentioned it later. But anyways, I was like, yo, just got back from Costa. I've always wanted to roast. This would be cool to learn the business. Also, just like absorb. I'm just down to watch, participate if possible, but just chilling. And so I ended up having 3 hours in the morning with Brennan roasting coffee. So I got to know Brennan first, really. And that was pretty cool. And he was dope. And it was like, okay, you're funny. You're cool. This is cool. I would totally work here at some point in time. Like just putting that note in my pocket in my brain. And so, okay, great. And then, you'd go to Joe Sippers for lunch. And then you kind of didn't go to Joe Sippers for lunch because there's such a long wait. Sorry to say, it gets so busy at lunchtime. And guys, now that I work there, it's like I we can't help it. We're going as fast as we can. I promise. It you oh, they're coming from all angles. They are coming from all angles in the store, online, delivery. Holy smokes, people are calling. So we kind of avoided Joe Sippers at lunchtime, but I would always like treat myself. They always had good sweet treats. And Becca was open at the time for Blissful Bites. And so we'd always go around to like the different businesses. And then, Joe Sippers was a chamber member. Okay, great. And so I don't know, like slowly I got to a little bit know Emily and Brennan. Um, yeah, just like little bits by little bits. But then I'm like about to leave town. There's like an article in the newspaper. Brittany Sunderman is here and she did these things and now she's leaving. Um, oh, yeah. Oh, one other thing I feel like I want to toot my horn about. Um, Dino Toll with the skate park. Holy smokes. I met him on a whim. I don't remember how I met Dino, but it was like the best connection ever, the dopest. I was like, you are cool and you're doing things in this community by yourself and you're just raising money for a passion you have for skateboarding. And he's just like a dope guy. I mean, he's in his 40s and he's just teaching his kids, teaching other kids. He's just a really cool guy. So it was like, how can we incorporate the skate park into something? So we ended up doing like a demo for a 2 hours at Ham Jam. And it was like, they'll bring these ramps and like do little skateboard things. And whoever wants to skate can kind of skate. And Dino will be there and it'll just be like promotion because he does this Ham City Jam. And it used to be on a different weekend. It was like Ham City Jam one weekend, and then I think Ham Jam was the next weekend. So it never really was the same time. And then it was like, hey, what about we move? You like have a demo on this Friday night, and then you have your skate competition on Saturday, and that's like your promo demo for that time. It was like, hell yeah, fuck yeah, this is going to be sick. And so they did that and they've done that every year since. And now Dino is just a little more a part of the community and like into the chamber and really supported by the city. I don't know. It just got a little more oomph to the whole thing about it because he's trying to do a phase 2. He's brought in all these like high-end TikTok guys, skateboarders that he's just friends with because he was like, I think a professional skater back in the day. He is fucking dope. Dino Toll, look him up. He's amazing. And he's just done so much for the community because skateboarding, I feel like, is very underrated, very kind of like frowned upon by old people. Yet it's so inclusive and it's very just any age, and the skate park is used by all, and it's very cool. So it has created, I think, a more positive culture around it by having these competitions and making it just like so legit with having him at the event. Anyways, toot toot. That was fucking dope. So then having these little connections, I'm like getting out in town. And then this article comes out that's like, Brittany did these things and she is leaving July 31st. I have this laminated because it was like so sweet. I felt so famous, And so I'm like about to peace out. And then Moccasin Creek Festival happens because that was also one of the first things I did right when I moved into town. I was looking around what the hell is going on in this town. And I saw that Summer Sundown was happening and I saw that they needed volunteers. And so I volunteered just out of the blue. I know nobody. And so then I got to know these POS people. And I'm like, okay, hell yeah, these are my type of humans. This is going to be awesome. And I got to hear the music and it was just, I think Sun Stereo was there. Like I got my mind blown and it was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And I just saw Sun Stereo again like 2 days ago at the same festival and it was awesome. I guess that's like my cap. Holy smokes. I guess. Wow, I never put that together. But so Pos Music works great. We're getting to know them. Like this is cool. And then once I start working for Emily, there's like Pos people like intertwined in all of our stuff. So um, I go to Moccasin Creek because they're vending. Joe Sippers is always there as a vendor. Their tie is cool. And I'm like talking to Emily and Brennan, and we're like hanging out. And it was just like, wow, you guys are pretty cool. Like, you guys are just cool. I don't know. And then Emily and I had like a whole night, and we ended up sitting on the dock, like down in the marina, and, gushing our hearts to each other, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're leaving. And she was like, I think you should stay and you should work for me. It's like, holy shit, really? And she gave me an offer like on the spot. And I was kind of like, okay, I'm down. And she's like, just like think about it. Because I was planning a whole trip home. I did like a month road trip like through everywhere. And I did the whole southern route and it was great, amazing, whatever. But with that, it was like, I have this planned. I can't like start now. I'd have to come back. And then plus Rusty Rail Lake Jam was happening. And Jamie and Tim were like, yo, we'd love you to be a part of this. So I was like, ooh, okay, what if I did my month home and then I stayed for a month and then I drove back in like 4 days, hit that festival, and then started after that. And she's like, whoa, cool, down. And then she did say she was wondering if I was actually coming back. But I like emailed my apartment people and I was like, hey, super random, don't know if it's possible. Like I'm about to move out in 2 or 3 weeks, straight up. And I was like, can I stay? And they were like, yeah. It's like, no way. Yeah, for sure. So I've been in my apartment the entire time, which is so awesome because this apartment is probably the best place I've ever lived. I have vaulted ceilings. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, all to myself. I have a balcony. It's so quiet. It's so quiet. I hear like the lumberyard radio sometimes. It's so quiet and chill. It's amazing. All old people, except for Tanya, my neighbor. Um, she's young, hip, awesome, cool, great neighbor. And yeah, I do have the best apartment ever. So it was like, yeah, you can do that. And you're going to come back and it's going to be October and you're going to start here. Great. Awesome. I think I started like October 26, 2023. Wouldn't that be it? Because yeah. So I've almost been at Joe Sippers like a full 2 years. That's pretty cray. So came back, had the same apartment. Okay, great. Now I'm seeing Effingham from a whole other viewpoint, right? It's just like I've got um I still see my CEOs and my business people because I feel like everybody loves Joe Sippers, but then I'm meeting a whole other group of people. I'm also meeting like young people that I work with and like people my age that I work with, which is nice. Very nice. And yeah, like a whole different style. And I kind of went in as a manager, but not. It was just like, you're a barista, you're Reggie, you got to like learn all of this and to do all of this. Right. And so, but then I'm a talker and I'm, just, I don't know what I do. I got flair or some shit. And it was pretty cool because I've never really done restaurant industry. I was a server for 3 months and that was not for me, just not my thing. But this was different. It was, you're not going back to the kitchen, going back out. You're just like right there. Everything is right there. And you're just customer service and efficiency and everything like that. So then that was cool. It was like, all right, you're going to be a barista now and learn barista stuff. Cool. Awesome. Great. And then, like, okay, time is going on. I'm like learning Joe Sippers. I'm enjoying my life. I have some more friends and all these different types of people that I'm meeting. I'm getting closer and closer with Emily, which is sick. And so it's just like building. Everything is great. Everything is lovely. Everything is like wonderful. And then Kylie's like, okay, I'm leaving. It's like, oh my God, we're losing our baker. And then we had another person come in and that didn't work out. And then it was like, okay, Brittany, we need you to be in the bakery. And I was like, bet I can do this. Like I've been a baker at home, but like I don't know all of this other things. And so then I got to learn how to bake from Kylie. Kylie taught me macarons and Kylie taught me cheesecakes and Kylie taught me everything in the bakery. And I took over full-time bakery. So that was a whole other thing. And then I got to learn the business through holidays. Holy smokes. Valentine's Day is absurd how many chocolate covered strawberries we go through. And Kylie would come back for those. And then I'd have like time with Emily and Kylie, and we'd just be there together, just crushing it, just like baddie women. And it was sick. And I just learned so much from all the people around me, which is really freaking cool. I just feel like I'm growing as well in this time. And now I've like kind of graduated. Anyways, yeah, it it feels really good, you guys. I told you this is a little to my horn brag about me. So, okay, I'm in the bakery. Okay, life is great. But now we kind of need some backup on the bakery. And I'm still doing barista stuff, still being upstairs because customers like me upstairs. And there's just like this job is everything. I am in every single role at any time, just a fluid twirling and just floating and fluttering all around this shop. And it's pretty lit, I will say. And Emily makes it very just nice. I don't know, a little more lighthearted. And yeah, that woman, she is the real MVP. Whoa, I don't know how she does it. I am amazed by her at all times, truly all times. Anyways, yeah, so I'm seeing from all different angles. It's pretty freaking cool. And now that we've got like Tay down in the bakery and then I'm more upstairs and I've got more barista stuff, then you know what? My last month, I'm learning how to make food. Hilarious. Fantastic. Now I know food, which is cool and very helpful and awesome, but so funny that it happened in the last month. But it's just like things get pushed. Like I just realize how insane the service industry is, and to be good at it is so impressive because you got to be tight. You got to have your shit in gear. It's pretty impressive. So it was kind of fun to see it just from every angle. Plus the shop like opened me up to so many things. We got on WCIA. They reached out to me being like, yo, we want to do something on you because we're doing like I forget what it was called, but like a weekend in Effingham. And Effingham was like the chosen town, I guess, for the week. And then they would have stories building up to them being there. I think it was like small towns or something like that. And then they come and then they're live, and it was during Ham Jam. So they were going to be there and interviewing people, and it was just all going to be like yada, yada, yada. So they were doing these stories. And so they were at the hospital doing a story about the fire or something. And then they reached out to me. They were like, hey, we want to interview. I am thinking like pen and paper. I'm going to just like sit down, hang out, chill. No, this was like interviewer, Amanda Brennan, pretty cool. And then the big video, like big, big camera. And they were going to do just filming. LOL. So, okay, already off guard by that. And then our internet was down. So Mitch was handwriting orders. Like, how bad is that? Just like bad. Um, so then there's stress in that. So I'm like trying to actually work when being interviewed and it being so chaotic and not nobody is happy except me. It's like, oh my God. But they did a great job, honestly. That video truly touches my soul because it really reflected me. It really got the true picture of who I am. It got all my isms and all my weirdness and like I don't know. They asked me, "What do you do here?" And I'm like, "I'm the cafe manager." Like I did it like I was a little ninja. Like what? What are you doing? They put that on TV. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh my gosh. But that, yes, that was so sweet. And I just talked about like spreading joy. I do. I love that sense of just being in the cafe to see customers because, I mean, truly, they don't know like that much about me, actually. I know everything about them. They talk to me and I listen. I'm a great listener that has come with many years of practice. Um, but I love to listen. I love to absorb. So they tell me everything. And I've got some presence or something that literally like yanks it out of their bodies. They want to just like bleh, verbal vomit all over me. So working at the shop has been good for that because they just need a little bit of Britney attention a day and they have a great day. And then that makes me have a great day. And it's just like a rewarding cycle of joy. And I freaking love it. So the shop has been good for me in that sense. And I will miss like customers and those interactions. But will not miss like this, like it's stressful. It is. Oh man, it gets, but you just got to be cool, baby. Be cool. Pressure, pressure makes diamonds. And cool under pressure. I mean, Saturdays, there is a high that I get slinging, probably 250 plus drinks by myself and probably 350 plus, with a helper. uh, like, whoa, we crush it on a Saturday and you got to get people in and out. So you got to be on. And there is something about when you can do it fast and good and still put on a show. Woof, woof. I feel like maybe that should be my comedy show. It's just me doing espresso super fast and just talking with people. Cause I don't know, the shit that comes out of my mouth is kind of wild. I don't even know what I say, but I do get people laughing and I'm enjoying it and they're enjoying it and they don't mind waiting because then it's entertaining. And yeah, that is the service industry. That's customer service right there. It's putting on a damn show and you're keeping your cool, but you're like, holy shit, it is going down right now. I need help. I'm gonna die. But then you're crushing. And then 3 hours later, you can breathe and you're like, damn, that felt good. I am fully awake right now. I slayed. I slayed. Yeah, I'm gonna miss that just a little bit. Just like a wee bit, but not whew, 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 that'll get your heart rate up. Oh yeah. So anyways, Joe Sippers opened up a lot. And then, I have got like the cutest profile picture. When I first started, I had my apron on that Dallas bought me with my name embroidered. And then I embroidered on it. And then I put some patches on it. And I was really into my aprons at the time. I still am into my aprons. I just things have come into priority. I need to wear my aprons more often, to be honest. So, anyways, I'm wearing this apron. I take like the cute little like wavy photo from my profile picture. And then Alyssa at the tourism office in Effingham ends up making it into a coloring page for the town. What? And it's like the Christmas coloring book for like if you go to Wonderland and Lights and walk around, you're going to get handed this coloring book. And it's, a picture of the EPC, one of like koi fish, the cross, and me as a a drawing. Like, oh, Alyssa is incredible. And it is the cutest thing ever. It's like the biggest, mm, my heart is so full. Um, so yeah, I grabbed a few of those books because that was kind of the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. To be a coloring book little, I don't know what you call it, like icon, but not icon, character. There we go. Just a character. Just a character. Just a cute little character in the coloring book. Yeah, that's me. And I love it. I freaking love it. That was so cool. And okay, there was other things. So we've been able to do like tinsel and tails, which is like in support of ears, which is kind of the Humane Society, I guess. But they put on like a little golf cart, driving through the golf course, lit up with lights during Christmas time. Okay, cute, great. Well, Drew had the thought, let's make a really tall bag of coffee in a really big mug. Talking 6 foot tall bag of coffee and like a 4 foot mug. And we did. And so me, Zoe, Tay, yeah, we went over to Drew's. He taught us how to use these saws and we made all these things. And then he painted them. And then we got to take them all out there and put them up. Like, I, that's so cool. Drew has so many toys and I've been able to learn like heavy machinery and then some painting. And he's just talented as is that man. Whew, oh my goodness. So much inspiration in this town within people. Like there is a lot of creativity and a lot of music and a lot of like free flow in, I mean, certain crews, right? This town is not that big, but there's only specific groups of people. There's cliques, and I mosey towards, a little more hippy dippy outdoor, woo woos. And I found those here. So, I mean, you can truly find your pocket of people anywhere you go. But so, yeah, it's been pretty cool. Not gonna lie. I have friends. I have a lot of friends. And then, okay, January of this year, we're in 2025. January, we were able to go to Costa. So Drew, me, Emily, and Brennan all went to Costa Rica for like 7 days. And we drove all the way down to my site. We picked coffee. We went to different farms and we ended up like getting the phone number of the person in charge of exporting. That's like a big deal in San Jose. And it was like, okay, you can have a meeting with him on like your last day. And we need to go and then we need to get the airport in the evening. Like it was quite a day. But it was, I mean, impromptu meeting. Now it's set up. Now we can probably have direct trade. And we did set up direct trade. Like we got coffee from this exporter straight from Costa Rica, not going through, any of the people that do all the US exports, things like that. So that was so cool. Plus, I got to meet my host family and we drank all this coffee and we just hung out and it was awesome. And I hadn't been there in like 3.5 years. And to take them and to see it through their eyes and also get my Spanish back in gear, that felt freaking good. And then to just be like the still little gringa doing all the fucking chismosa stuff, it's great. It was great. And that I feel like was my really true want and like big accomplishment for, I mean, my Peace Corps third goal plus just Joe Sippers. I feel like in the beginning I had this thought of I have coffee connections. How can I utilize that with this job? And they're open to it. Like they appreciate my input. They listen to me when I have things to say. And then to be able to have this trip and then to have it all on video and do these interviews and be in these communities, it was my true dream come true. And oh, yeah, to have it through Joe Sippers, like forever bound to these people. It was such an incredible trip and it opened up so many opportunities. And oh, and to just go to the past and it still is there. Like you are 3.5 years is a long time away. And then to come back and be able to still make these connections, still meet up with people. And it's like, oh, Brittany. And then I'm like translating and helping out and showing coffee farms and driving around this whole country. And it was such a success. And to be just a community and economic development person, yeah, I don't know. It was so full circle and it happened here. And that feels really good. And I'm very interested what the next step in my life is going to be. Like, I want it to be a bit of coffee, but I don't know. Does this mean I've kind of graduated in that sense of it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking about looking up like personal assistant. um, I mean, I'm looking at Parks and Rec coordinator, but I don't know, you guys. What do I need to do next? I don't know. But anyways, back to opportunities. There's so many opportunities I've had just from being in Effingham and from knowing people. Like even Rusty Rail Lake Jam, getting in with that and knowing background of big production. And so with that, we met like this Rise crew that does all these setups and big festivals like around the US. I mean, travel for them, everything, do all the sets, do all the, I don't know, the logistics of everything, water, all this stuff, and staff. So we met these people and then able to go to Electric Forest this year and work for them and camp with them and be in this experience through them. And that was huge. I mean, that was such a cool experience. And that would have only happened through Effingham, right? Just, yeah, there are just little things, you pick up as you go through your travels. And Effingham has been a good one to me. I've met a lot of people that have touched my life, and I hope I've touched a lot of other people's lives. And it's been this very nice habitat for me for the last 3 years. Yeah, it's it's cool to reflect on all the people I've met, all the things I've done, all the solo things I've done too. I've done a lot of camping and hiking alone and just driving. Oh, and I mean, like, I've been close to friends that I've met in Seattle. And then I'm out here, so I'm a little more central located. So I was able to like go up to Diana and Alex in Wisconsin like twice. And like would not have really had that chance to drive up there easily. Meeting my friends in Chicago for the weekend. And then Kat and Lenny in Arkansas, I've been able to be at a birth. Like I was able to drive to that within a text message. Um, and able to just head down there at any time if I wanted to and hang out, stay the weekend, like only 6.5 hour drive, super easy. Being in this interesting location. And then like Nashville, I'd always wanted to go to Nashville. And then we're only a 4 hour drive. Able to go for like Kylie's Bachelorette, which was fire. And like all these just different things to meet and enjoy and travel and explore because you can be the tourist anywhere you go. And that's cool. And looking up things like the internet is full of ideas and recommendations. And so to tap into that and just explore wherever doesn't even matter. Like I have gone to a lot of graveyards. I do love me a graveyard. And that's a cool thing to do. You just look up a graveyard. Those are everywhere. And all these, I don't know, pockets of nature places. Like, yes, this is not the Pacific Northwest. That's for sure. But there is beauty in the sunsets and the stars and the rolling hills and seeing for miles and the storms. I'm going to miss some lightning and thunder and tornadoes. Not going to lie. And yeah, those type of things, and maybe that's what comes with me romanticizing my life is that you can find beauty anywhere. And I feel like that's why I've stayed here for so long. Um, because I've found the beauty in the things I've done. Oh, and we saw the total like solar eclipse. Ended up going down to Macanda for that, which was like 2017 where it crossed the path and it was crossing the same path. And that was X marks the spot. Crazy. It was 4 minutes total blackout. And that was insane. And I was with Emily's whole family and like part of Brennan's family, actually. Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was so sick. And then we ended up being like on the front page of the Wall Street Journal or like a big yeah, and then I ended up being like a Snapchat stock photo, I guess. I was like 3 different articles. I think it was me and Gianna like looking through the glasses practicing the day before cuz I had not used the glasses before. Yeah. So that was cool. We were doing that. And then this lady was there from DC just walking around the campsite because it was such a gathering in this Macanda area. So that was really cool. Yeah. Wouldn't have done that. Wouldn't have been able to do that at all if I wasn't here. So yeah, that's been cool. It's been real. It's been fun. Um, yeah. Met a lot of sick people. Done a lot of sick things. It's been dope. It's been rad. Yeah. I'm leaving in 2 weeks. My apartment looks like the Grinch ran through it and grabbed whatever he could. It's a bit disheveled, but it's fun. And I'm still trying to just pack it all into one car. So cheers to doing that. And cheers to Effingham. Cheers to Illinois. It's been a good run. I appreciate everybody. Yeah. I'll love and miss you all. Ciao, ciao for now.